Hello and welcome to another Arkeys video and to a new 2 million credit time trial challenge on Gr.2 7. This time we are at Suzuka and we are in the Gr.2 cars. You can pick any Gr.2 car you like, but it seems like the newest Honda NSX is the car to go for. This is my first impressions. I did an hour to see how far I could get. Then I got stubborn as usual and went a bit more to see if I could find a bit more time. And this is the highlights from my first hour and a half of qualifying. And if you are enjoying the content, please feel free to hit the like and subscribe button. It is highly appreciated. And now let's jump into my very first attempt. And it's Thursday morning. The time trial opened 13 minutes ago. We're jumping into sport mode. I've got silver on that Spa challenge. I need to go back to that one, but we're jumping into this one for the first time. And let's see if we can set a lap. And the first thing I do is run off at the Degners. I try again. This time I don't even make it past turn 1. The car snaps on me, but this time we are getting a full lap in and we're looking at some brake references. Just ignore the driving. This is my first completed lap. First we are looking at that small tarmac strip just around the 50 board, and you only need to lift off to begin with and then brake. I was braking way too much and you can see I got slowed down way too much there. But anyway, now we are making our way through the S's. It's all about just being patient, not try to overcook it, because then you will just lose a lot of speed by running far too deep into some of the corners. This is a really long right-hander. Here I tried to upshift coming up the hill, and that was a small lift that is not necessary once you get to know it. Here I'm looking at the last lamp post up on that hill. That is a good marker for when to just tap on the brake and get down to 4th gear. And here I look at the end of that green stuff at the top of the hill as the reference for Gr.2. And now we are coming up towards the hairpin and I'm using the end of the curb, but you can brake slightly after it. This car has got good brakes even on racing medium tires. Up to 2nd gear, trying to carefully apply the power and keep the turbo boost up. Not doing a brilliant job at the moment, but that is the general idea. Now we've got spoon, curve, and after the 100 board you've got another tarmac strip, and that is the marker for getting down to 3rd gear on the brakes and all that stuff. And now using a bit of 2nd gear, and you can see I am running very wide. If you don't get the nose tucked in to that 2nd apex, you will just understeer. So I lost a lot of time there. Now it's 130R and that is just flat out, so not much to say about that. We're just turning in and the car will easily stay on the track. And here I'm using the 150 board and that last couple of lamp posts. You can brake early, but don't overshoot it, because then you will just lose time on the exit. And yeah, I am being a bit cautious and careful through the chicane there, but we are across the line in a silver time, a 152.347. So we carry on. This is the lap immediately after, coming into turn 1 once again. And I'm carrying a bit more speed this time, but also almost lost it there. So not the best exit, but better than the first time, of course. And once again going through the S's, mostly staying in 3rd gear. And sometimes you can use a bit of 2nd for extra rotation. You can see I just briefly touch 2nd gear, but you can also just stay in 3rd. And a slight short shift up to 4th gear, coming through Dunlop curve. That can tuck the car in a bit now. Down to 4th gear once again and down to 2nd for rotation, but exiting in 3rd gear out of Gr.2. Now we've got the hairpin, braking around the end or slightly after the end of the curb on the right hand side, using 2nd gear for the exit. And yeah, we are doing okay so far compared to my first attempt. Can I get a bit closer to the apexes in spoon? Almost on the grass there, that's not ideal either. But the 2nd part of spoon, that was definitely better this time. Couldn't hardly be much worse, to be fair. But yeah, anyway, now through 130R, looking for the 150 board and the lamp post on the right hand side, getting the car slowed down. And yeah, there is a bit of delay in the steering on the pad you need to take in account. A 152.037, and we still try to keep it alive, coming through turn 1 and 2 for the third time, and through the S's once again. And yeah, just trying to keep it in third gear and just be patient, lift off, let the car do the work for you. You will feel the nose of the car find its way if you're not too aggressive on the throttle through those corners. Once again, up to fourth out of Dunlop curve, and we are surviving the Deckners once again. And maybe even, yeah, a better exit this time. How about the hairpin? And here I'm trying to carefully apply some throttle in second gear, but not be too hesitant, because you want to also keep up the turbo boost. And through Spoon, not much to say about that. Maybe slightly missing some apexes there, but we are gaining some time through 130R, and now we've got the Casio triangle to go, and we are getting it slowed down, cutting a bit more this time of the chicane, so that will gain us some more time. And you can see I am up on our time down to a 150.935, so that was more than a full second. Then I cut the first Deckner and we parked the car. So we've been driving for 9 minutes, and yeah, we are off to an okay start. We go again, and this lap is only going to be a small improvement as we make our way through the S's. We are jumping ahead, we're coming into the chicane, and here I am struggling a bit with that delay in the steering. When you've got the steering to the far right and want to go back over to the left, you really need to be ahead of yourself, because otherwise it feels like it's almost just getting stuck there. I was getting a bit braver through turn 1 and turn 2. Spoon curve and me still are not the best of friends, and you can see I am being a bit hesitant mid-corner. You can accelerate a bit coming up towards the second part of Spoon, but yeah, I was just not doing the best job there. Sometimes I did short shift out of the chicane for a bit more stability. It might be a slight bit slower, but again more stable. Now we've been driving for 19 minutes, down to a 150.710, and we are straight back into it. We are coming through turn 1 and turn 2, and now entering the S's. And yeah, we can go up to fourth gear, just lifting off a bit, down to third gear, swing the car back over, and really try to anticipate all the S's so you don't end up running in too deep and make the next S curve be too narrow. Not the best exit out of Dunlop, but we are doing okay so far. Now we've got the Deckners down to fourth gear, and down to second gear for rotation, back up to third, using all of the track for the exit. Now for the hairpin, back up to second, and yeah, we didn't get as straight a line out of there as I might have liked, but we are still alive now through Spoon, and we are, nope, I was about to find the apex, but the understeer kicked in, so maybe lost some time there. Now we've got the final part of the lap coming into the Casio triangle, getting the car slowed down, second gear, and yeah, this time I'm just trying to rev out second gear. We're down to a 150.595, and one lap later, a tiny improvement more. And I think, yeah, my sector times are all over the place, so not very consistent at the moment. We are going to carry on for another lap coming into turn 1 on the grass as well. And now the exit of Spoon is looking much better. But once again, I am getting caught out by the steering delay, or maybe it's just skill issue, but you can see I didn't get the car turned properly, so I only gained a tiny bit compared to what I could have gained. We are going to skip forward one lap. We are still on the same session, going through the S's and down to third gear, swinging the car back over, just trying to be patient, and especially on this long right-hander, and that was almost running a bit wide, but I managed to get the car back in, and also getting a decent exit out of Dunlop curve using the fourth gear. And now we've got the Deckners, and yeah, that was a bit clumsy, and I am definitely throwing away a lot of time, also getting a poor exit out of Gr.2. But on the previous fastest lap in this session, I messed up the chicane, so I am going to gain it back on the exit of the very final corner. So now we are down to a 150.358, and yeah, this was bound to happen at some point, running wide at the Dunlop corner. So we are 30 minutes in, and we've got the leader in the 147s. So maybe it is about time I enter the 49s. Let's see what I can do. So close, but we carry on, and despite the very poor exit and appalling driving out of Spoon, we are gaining some time compared to the previous lap, and I am at least doing a better chicane this time. So we are going to gain on the exit, and we are finally going to dip into the 149s with a 149.926. And now I've got 12 minutes left of my first hour. And this is going to be the final run of the first hour. It's not the final run of the video, as I got a bit stubborn, but we are jumping straight to the Degner. We're coming into Degner 1 in 4th gear, down to 2nd gear, rotating the car, exiting in 3rd gear, using all of the track, almost getting a track limit penalty, and coming into the hairpin, down to 1st gear, getting the car rotated and trying to carefully get back onto the power, but still as fast as possible. Now we've got Spoon, and yeah, completely missing the first apex, but maybe I can find that late apex on the second one. Finding, not really, but getting sort of close to at least. And a bit of panic downshifting there. Maybe I braked a bit late, but now we are going across the line, and that lost me time on that final exit, but we are down to a 149.696. And after some poor laps, I completely forgot to brake for the hairpin, so we are bailing out. That was the end of my first hour. But you know, as it usually is sometimes, let's just try to find one more improvement. Yeah, right. In fact, the first improvement came fairly quickly. We got down to a 149.453, but I wanted a bit more. So now we are going for the final run of the video. I'm not going to cut into this lap. So we're coming into turn 1, looking for that tarmac strip around the 50 board. Lifting off, coasting in, now getting down through the gears, coasting in 2nd gear, rotating the car back up to 3rd for the exit, up to 4th gear, lifting a bit, down to 3rd for swinging the car back over, staying in 3rd gear for the entirety of the S's, and we are making our way through that long right-hander, now up to 4th gear before going through Dunlop curve. It worked a bit better for me because the car tucks in a bit once you upshift, and that makes it rotate a bit more. And now we are going through the Degners, exiting in 3rd gear, almost running off the track. Now coming into the hairpin, braking slightly after the curb on the right hand side, exiting in 2nd gear. And yeah, we are doing okay so far. Now we've got Spoon, my old friend or enemy Spoon curve, and we are looking for that tarmac strip after the 100 board, just before the 50 board, going onto the grass. That's not recommendable, but we are finding that second apex and getting out of there with a good exit compared to the previous lap. Now we're coming up towards 130R, just keeping it flat, no issues whatsoever, and we've got the Casio triangle to go. And I am getting a bit nervous now. Now I need to not mess this up. A bit of panic downshifting, and I am maybe not getting the best exit, but it's better than the previous lap on this run, which wasn't that good. But we're down to a 149.338, and this is where I'm going to park it for now. So that was 95 minutes of driving. I have a tiny hope I can sneak into the 148s with a bit more practice, but I had to leave it for now before it turned into a proper brain melter. Sometimes it's better to just give it a rest and then come back to it. And if I get any further improvements, I can always post a link in the comment section. I hope you enjoyed the video, found it entertaining and maybe even somewhat useful. Thanks for watching, and I will catch you next time. Bye bye.